We often hear the argument that taxation is not theft but simply the law of the land, and if you don't like it, you can leave the country. While this may seem like a reasonable argument on the surface, there are deeper issues at play here. Firstly, the underlying premise of this argument is that if you want to live in a country, you must pay taxes. But this ignores the fact that taxation is not voluntary. It is imposed on us by the government. We do not have a choice in the matter, and so it is disingenuous to suggest that we are somehow consenting to the system by choosing to live in the country. To illustrate this point, let's consider a few scenarios. If I'm having a costume party and require everyone to wear a costume to attend, then it's perfectly reasonable to say that if you don't want to wear a costume, you shouldn't come to the party. But this is different from taxation because I'm not forcing you to attend my party in the first place. You have the choice to stay home and not participate. Similarly, if I don't allow shoes to be worn in my house and require guests to take off their shoes at the door, then it's reasonable to say that if you don't want to take off your shoes, you shouldn't come into my house. But again, this is different from taxation because I'm not forcing you to enter my house in the first place. You have the choice to stay outside. Finally, let's consider a scenario that's not so easy to stomach. If I own a restaurant and don't allow anyone of German descent to dine there, then it's reasonable to say that if you're of German descent, you shouldn't come to my restaurant. But this is different from taxation because I'm discriminating against a particular group of people based on their ethnicity, which is morally wrong and illegal. So what makes taxation different from these scenarios? The answer is that taxation is imposed on us by the government, and we have no choice in the matter. We cannot choose to live in the country without paying taxes, and we cannot choose to opt out of the system. The argument that if you don't like it, you can leave the country is also flawed because it assumes that the government owns the country. This is simply not true. The government is a temporary steward of the country, entrusted with the responsibility of managing it on behalf of the people who live there. We, the people, are the true owners of the country, and the government's role is to serve us, not the other way around. Furthermore, the argument that we must pay taxes in order to receive benefits and services from the government is also flawed. The government does not own the benefits and services it provides. They belong to the people. The government's role is to manage these benefits and services on behalf of the people, not to charge us for them. In conclusion, the argument that taxation is not theft and that if you don't like it, you can leave the country is flawed on several levels. Taxation is not voluntary, and we have no choice in the matter. The government does not own the country. We, the people, do. And the government's role is to serve us, not to charge us for benefits and services that belong to us. Subscribe Libertarian Facts.